Hi everybody, Jen Charles coming in with the KiOui apps. So today, Sydney, that you all know that works with KiOui, is also selling on eBay, and she asked me to review some of her pictures and to try to show her what I would do to process those pictures and how to put them on eBay. So here are the pictures that Sydney sent me. So you can see that they're basically blue screen pictures of jewelry. The first thing that I would say that needs to be avoided is those big shadows right here and shadows right here. But we're going to try to see what we can do to get rid of those. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to double click on those pictures here, and it's opening it into this window. And I'm going to try to crop those pictures square or make them square. Obviously here it's taking more than the frame, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my little paint.net software that I like to use, and let's see if it's opening. There you go. Let me minimize it for you guys, and I'm gonna open this first picture, and let's see, I'm gonna edit image, canvas size, and I'm gonna make it square. eBay likes square pictures. There, it's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Let me go back to the image, canvas size, and let me make it in the middle, right there. Okay. So that's one. Open the image, that's two. That is three. You can see the images are open here. There, and the fourth one. Alright, so I'm going to close and save, and it's going to ask me if I want to save all of those photos, and I'm saving all of those photos at once. Nope. It's going to ask me each one of them. That's cool. Okay, and we now got square photos. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on it, and on PC I like to use the Windows Live photo editor, and one of the reasons is because there is a very easy crop square feature. So I go here, and then I'm going to crop proportion square, and that is very nice to make it easy to just have a square picture. And I'm going to try to just skip the object by getting rid, of some extra space right here and right here. So that's the first one. I'm going to click next. Go to the second one. And in this case, I don't know if I need to show that many chains, so I'm just going to crop it here. Go to the next one. In this case, same thing. We're not too interested by the chain here. What we're trying to show in this picture is this area here. And here, I'm going to crop it right here, because basically I don't have this area here in the picture that I made bigger, so I don't want to show that. All right, so now we got our 4 pictures. I'm going to close and save, and now we got our 4 square pictures zoomed into it. So now I'm going to use a software called PhotoKey that I really like to use, because it removes blue background and green screen background. So I'm going to take the 4 pictures right here and add them to my blue screen remover. So we have it here. We can see that it's doing a good job by itself. The first thing I'm going to do is add the canvas here. You can see, and I'm going to make this picture unique by clicking on this picture, on this little star here. You can see that here it's missing, or it's adding, it's not removing everything because it's in the picture. So I'm going to go to the mask, and I'm going to add a mask right here. I'm going large. That just removes all of that area. That's gone. Now I'm going to switch to my foreground as alpha to try to get as much of a black and white item here that I can. And it's already doing a very good job here. So let's see if I even need to adjust anything. I don't even think I need to adjust anything here. By default, the blue is very nice. So I'm going to keep that like that. Let's go back to the color. Now, one thing that I'm not sure is if I want to get this onto just white like that or black. And you can see that there's a line as well here that I see. So I'm going to add an Alger mask and try to remove that whole line there. You don't have to go fine, you can go large. So now that we got that, let's try to see if it's going to look better with a black background. I don't know, either or. For this demonstration, and you can see here that there's some white from before, and you can add, if you keep it black, you can add a mask. Again, we're going to add another mask here to get rid of this white area. There you go. So I don't know if white or black background is better for this description, but what I'm going to do just for this video is I'm going to stick to white. But you can obviously see that sometimes white is going to be better than black, or black is going to be better. I'm just going to stick to white for this time. So let's go back to import now. We've done our first picture. Let's double click on our second picture, which we are going to make unique as well, because we're going to add mask just to it. And you can see that it's unique with this window here. So I'm going to come here. Obviously, we have an area here that we don't like, so I'm going to add a big mask around it to get rid of it. And let's see if we can sharpen this picture a little bit. Let's go to the key, and let's switch to the foreground as alpha. And it looks fairly black and white here. There's some little edge here. Let's see if we can maybe zoom, to see better those edges. And let's see if we need to try to remove with the foreground. Nope. Let's try if we can remove it with the background. Too much. Usually, if you have to remove more than 30% of the background, I would just stick to 30% as a maximum. And if you have to remove the foreground, 70%. You do not want to have this go further than the background. This is wrong. Or other way around, this go this way. So let's stick it to 30% here, and let's keep it to the max. Let's see what it looks like with the picture. So it still looks a little blurry when we look at it, and there is not much we can do with it. That's because of the picture. If the picture is blurry, there's nothing we can do. It's better to take another picture that's not as blurry. But this is just a fact. And it doesn't look too bad like that. Looks pretty good. We could look at some of the filters here. And there's a lot of shiny into it. So let's see if we can add or remove some brightness from it. Yeah, that's a little bit better here. What if we just do 10%? There, it's not so shiny. It's a little bit better for it. Okay, so we got our second pictures. Let's go back to our import. Let's go to our fourth picture. Okay, we got a lot of shadow right here and a lot of shadow right there in this picture. And I'm not sure what that is, if it's a shadow as well. So let's go to to our key right here. First, let's make our image unique so it doesn't change the key for every single item. And let's go to the foreground as alpha. And you can see here that we can see a lot of the background, foreground. There's a dot here, another dot here. So let's try to see if we can remove some of the foreground here. We have to go very far to remove this shadow. It would be better not to have that shadow as well as all here. But let's see what it did by going over our 30% here. It did a fairly good job, but we still have a lot of shadow here. Let's reset our key here to the default. And let's see if we could use the adaptive color to see if it does a better job. Oh, definitely a better job with the adaptive color. Let's see now if we remove some of that background, doesn't do anything. Let's look again with the foreground as alpha. Where did my... Oh, there. Full color, foreground as alpha. I was wondering where that went. That does a better job here. We can see here that there are dots here and this white line. Why don't we just make a mask while we're at it to get rid of that. And let's add another mask there to get rid of it. And while we're at it, let's make a big one here. And up to get rid of this white line here. We don't really need to, but I'm in it to do it. Okay, so let's look at our full colors now here. So we definitely have this area here that's going to be very, very, very hard to remove the shine out of, or to remove basically that shadow here. You can see here that there are little edges. Here we can see a little bit of the dark color. So from the key here, we could erode -1. Basically, we take away some of those edges. Let me push it big time to show you how much we could remove if we wanted. You can see that we totally remove everything. You obviously don't want to do that. But -2, -3, you know, sometimes I even go -4 in some of my wigs. Can work pretty good here. Now we have some shine here that we could leave as is. If we really, really, really want to, we could create another mask and go from here to here to here. Try to follow the edge of that shape. And instead of removing the alpha, we're going to retain the alpha. And let's just click on the key and let's see how it works. It looks not too bad, but this is a little bit straight. Let me zoom on it. Okay, why can't I just move in my canvas here? Key. Oh, there you go. I can move it. Okay, so let's go back to the mask here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the curve here. And I'm going to take... So why am I not selecting the mask? Select. There you go. I'm on the select mode. And I can see all of those points here of my mask. So this point here, instead of making a straight line, here, you see it square, I'm going to make it round so that it follows a little bit more the curves. And I'm going to take those points and move them to try to follow the curves a little bit better. There, you can see. Where's this point? Right here. We got a curve between those. I could just grab it here and add another point. Now this one is straight. I want it to be a curve. This one is straight as well. I want it to be a curve. There, looks a little bit better. Those we can leave. Yeah, let me make this one a curve. And let me add a point here. Oops, I moved my old mask. That's not good. Let's move this back a little. So you can see that it can be a lot of work to do that, depending on the shape of items that you have. There. Oh, a little bit of blue came in. Where's that curve? There, it doesn't look too bad. Let's see what it looks like now if we put it back to our original size. There, looks pretty good. We got back some of those edges here. We could do a mask for those as well, and those, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is for now. That picture I probably will have to go to paint if I want to remove more of that shadow. The idea is that you should have enough soft light that you do not get those shadows, therefore you do not have to do this. Okay, so let's go to our fourth pictures. And this one looks pretty good. We got some more shadows here. I don't know if we'll be able to remove all of that. Let's go to our background as alpha key. We can definitely see the white sides here, which we can remove by a mask if we want. Let me zoom out. Oops. And let's just up, 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 up. Let's make another one right here. There's a tiny little dot here. I don't know why we got that. Probably something dirty on the color, but let's just remove it. And let's go back to 25% so we can see it. Let's go to the key and let's try the adaptive colors. Oh, that gets rid of a lot more there. Let's see what it will look like. Oh, good. We got a lot of that shadow removed. You can see here that it's a reflection. Obviously, if we look at our original picture, let me show it to you here. There's a big reflection here because of the jewel. But we do not want it to be removed here, even though it's a reflection. So let's just add another mask here. And we're going to retain the alpha for this one. There. You can see that if you do not put it everywhere on the edge, it actually leaves a little bit of green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it here to the edge, and I'm going to make it round. And I'm going to take this one here to the edge and make it round. Make it round so that we follow the edges. And of course, you know, if you just have one item, you have to ask yourself, how much time do I want to spend doing that with all of my item? But if it's an item that you're going to send, you know, make a couple of $100 with it, it's definitely worth the time. It really, those pictures, you know, help big time. So there, we have this. We have a reflection, of course, that's removed, but that's because of the reflection, not because of the blue screen or the green screen. Let's go back to our foreground as alpha, and let's see if we can get rid of this here. So let's see if we get to the key and we remove some of the background here. Nope, doesn't want to do anything with it. Those shadows are too harsh. Let's see if here we can soften that a little bit. Nope. Okay, let's go back to the full color. Let's see if we can subtract edges, for example. Let's see if 45 would help. Nope, doesn't do anything. Those edges are just, those shadows, there's just nothing much we can do. I like to add an arrow of 1 or 2 to the picture. It just adds a lot of sharpness to the edge. And so those are gonna be your picture right there. Why do I still have this? Oh yeah, that's because of the menu. So now I'm gonna batch export, and I'm gonna take all of those pictures. I'm gonna right click, select all, and I'm gonna export the selected items. Now, one thing that I do not like to do, I hate to do, and I recommend that you do not do that. I don't know how to stress it more than that, is do not overwrite your pictures in there. Create a new folder and call it whatever you want, treated images. Double click into it and put your pictures into it so that you retain your originals here. You see it goes into the treated image. Let me go into it and let's see what it looks like. So not too bad so far. We still have some stuff here. We still have some shadows here. It doesn't look too bad. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to right click. Takes forever in my computer because I have a lot of things that I need to get rid of. Should be a lot faster with yours. And I'm going to open them in Paint to try to retouch those shadows. Okay, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. By the way, something to avoid having blurry pictures like that, use a tripod. If you use a tripod, you are very, very still. Your camera does not move. And if you even want to be even more still than that, you can use the delay timer so that you don't even push the button to make the camera move. Okay, so let's see. Why can't I do my open with Paint? Okay, I'm just going to open Paint, then back on. Here, click OK. We should be done with PhotoKey. So I'm going to close it. I don't need to save it. I exported my pictures. You can save it if you want. And I have Paint here. And so let me add all of my photos here. Open each images. And let's see what we can do. Okay, so this one, let's just zoom on those shadows. Let's see there. Okay, 50% is too much. Let's do a 26%. That doesn't look too bad, but it's a little harsh on the edges. Let's do 30%. No, that's too much. Oops. Let's go with 25. Up, and let's delete that. Let's go 25. Let's delete that. I'm going to take my brush here. I like to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make sure, let's see, Windows, colors. Where'd my colors go? Where'd my colors go? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there it is, out of the screen. And I'm gonna make sure I'm on white. And ooh, that's a little bit small. Let's switch to, boom, that's a bit too big. How about 100? There. Let's just do that. I just need to take care of the black edges. What is transparent here is actually going to be saved as white when I save the image. So let's see. Up, cutting it here a little bit. Let's see if here. And of course, again, you know, all of that depends on the amount of time that you want to take with your pictures and the cost of how much you're gonna sell them for. Obviously, you know, you don't want to spend that much time for something that you're gonna send $2. But if you're gonna sell it $100, might be worth the time. There you go. Delete that. It just helps be a little bit faster. Up. if you have an iPad or a Galaxy Note or something, I think they even have applications where you can do that with a stylus, or to try to be a little bit faster. Some people like to use a stylus for it. Here we still have some of the blue that remains. Let's just give it a little overall. There. Oh, I'm deleting. I could have used either or. It's gonna end up, what's deleted is gonna end up white later. Up. Let's select that. How about this right here? Yep. Oop, not a little bit too much there. Okay, switch that to 21%. There. And let's erase, switch it to smaller. I kind of like to use the big erase to just go, you know, brum, go a little bit faster on stuff. Either the erase or the painting. The thing is that you have to understand is here, for example, I eat it a little bit. Does not matter that much, because even though people can zoom on your pictures, what's more important is how the picture looks as an overall like that. So there, we got rid of some of the major shadows that were a little bit bothering. So let's close that picture and let's save it, and let's see what it looks like. Back open like that. Yeah, looks not too bad. Looks sharp. Of course, people understand that it's a picture. The best thing would be to have a tint and avoid the shadows. And I'll show you how to get a tint later. But we're just trying to take care of those the way they are. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of that. Bad shadows. We don't want to see you. Bad shadow. Nope. How about right here? Right here. Oh, that is hard. Okay. And let's do a little up. Ooh, I went too far. Of course, if you do that, you want to undo it, you know. There. Up. Up. There you go. There. Ooh. Too much. There. Looks a lot better. Okay, let's zoom out. Ooh. Zoom in. Of course, there's some edges here. It doesn't look as great, but let's see what it looks like if I save it. So let me show you. Where did it go? Come back here. Okay, so this is the picture before. Now let's save it. Yep. And there. So it's not, you know, perfect, but really the point of this picture is to enhance, to show the jewelry. And obviously this big shadow here was in the way. So even though we ate a little bit at the thing, we're showing that it's a chain here, and that's kind of like what matters more. Okay, this one looks very good, except we have a little white here. So let's see, I'm gonna take, we have a little grayish or something here. So I'm gonna take this, the brush, I'm gonna make it, boom, 450, and put a big on it there. So that's good. Let's look at it again. I'm gonna try to save and show you. You see here that little I don't know how well it looks on the video, but you can see that there's something here. And let's see. If I close this picture, ask me to save it. Yes, I want to save it. And then, boom, it's gone. Thank you. Okay. Last picture. I don't see anything to redo with this picture. It looks good already like that. Let's close it. So let's look at the picture now. Those are the picture that we've redone. And let's see. Let's look at what we started with before. You see there was a big shadow here that got totally removed here with the mask and PhotoKey. So there you go. That's what I would do. The big thing that Sydney needs to avoid to make our picture better is 1, shadows like this. We want consistent shadows. 2, we do not want reflex like this. And 3, she needs to use a tripod so that she moves less, because even though it doesn't look like you're moving, it's very, it looks good like that, but when you look and zoom on it, it's a little bit blurry. I know it's very tiny blurry, but that makes a big difference with the final picture like this, because you see how we went very sharp, yet it went blurry. Now, the reflex that you have, especially with jewelry, I was having a lot of problem with that with my flags as well, because they have a little tip on top, and the base reflects a lot. What you should do and get, if you can, let's go to eBay and let's look for photo tint. If you can invest into a little photo tint like that, that will be great, because really what this is going to do is diffuse, especially for small jewelry, it's going to diffuse the light for you, and it's going to take away a lot of that shine that you get. Some of them are not too expensive, and of course Sydney is welcome to come to my house anytime to use mine if she does not have the money to invest into it right away. I don't use too much those background here that they have, but I use the tint big time to remove all of the shadows and diffuse the light. You can also take this tint and just go outside on a sunny day or an evening day, and it will diffuse the light for you, and therefore avoid needing to have big lamps. They're not too expensive. I think Scott Anshaw sells some of those as well. I'm not sure. You don't need to go with a big tint like this. Although measure, if you need a 20-inch or a 24-inch, or depending on which item you're going to use. Some people will do that as well. Will just use a set like this that comes with lights. I definitely recommend it if you can get the little tripod and the lights. This is an investment, but then it will help you and make things very easy. I don't know who those people are. I'm not invested into them. Make sure you get something that has lights and everything with it, or just get a tent. But look at the size of it to make sure that it fits your item. So there you go. This was Jean-Charles Compagnon with the KiOui apps. And hopefully this is going to help a lot of you. And feel free to ask me if you have some more question. I got to say that as well. I'm not affiliated at all with PhotoKey. That removes the blue and background. But if you want to take sharp pictures like that with white background, let me show you again, that you can use for Amazon, that you can use on eBay to look extremely professional like that, even with reflections and things. PhotoKey is very good. I know that Photoshop has some filters as well, but I'm big fan of PhotoKey. So there you go. Hope this helps some of you. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, and talk to you later.